Hi, this is Dave Schmidt with Ag. Today we're going to go through the procedure to bleed your toolbar down and replace your flow meter on the system. This is a Raven flow meter. It's what counts your product as you're running through the field. So first things first, what we're going to do is gloves and goggles. Make sure you get your gloves and goggles on through the whole procedure here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn our tanks off, turn our product off, and then get back in the tractor and toolbar, go out into the field, put the bar in the ground, turn the system on to go ahead and drain out all the ammonia in the system with your tank shut off as much as you can get out. Your pressure gauge should come down pretty close to zero. Then once we stop, we jump back out of the tractor, come back to this section here, and we're going to need to bleed it all off. So to bleed it all off on this particular system here, we have a bleeder valve here, which bleeds out of the end of the cooler, and it comes down through this hose and around. It comes up to this T. Coming from the T, it comes up and it drains into the vapor section of the coolers, which ends up coming out of the 3/4 vapor tubes and at the back of your toolbar behind two of the knives there. The other valve to open up the bleeder is under here. This comes straight out of the bottom of the stainless steel plumbing, drains out of there and also into the same port. So you should notice everything being bled down, walk away from it and come back to it in a few minutes, half an hour, and make sure everything is bled down. If everything's bled down, you shouldn't see anything coming out of the back of the bar. At that point, we're ready to take the flow meter out. We take our 2 bolts out of each of our clamps, remove the clamps, and then these have Vitalic couplers in them. They're rubber, and you will pull that out of there slowly. Watch so there is not any residue in there, some fumes. Once you pull that out of there, you can clean it or replace it depending on what's going on. Most of the time when people are doing this procedure, the flow meter has had an issue of not reading. They know product is going through the bar, but the flow meter is not reading on the monitor. So it could be something wrong with the turbine inside or with the sensor on the outside. So once you pull it out, you can clean it with brake clean, a spray bottle of brake clean to clean all the N-serve and the anhydrous out of it. And then we're ready to put it back in. One thing you do have to remember is the arrow for the flow of direction. Make sure that you put it back in the proper way. This one is flowing this way. So we make sure we put that back in, put our clamps on, go ahead and tighten up your bleeder valves, shut those off, and you are good to go. Go back to the tank. Turn the valves on to turn the anhydrous on from the tank up to the coolers to the system. Turn these on slow, nice and slow, because the system is empty and it will spin that turbine and it could damage it if you turned it on too fast. Turn both your valves on, make sure there's no leaks, and you should be ready to go start applying ammonia again. Thank you for watching.